Oh, Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kangaroo English. I'm Christian, and yes, this is another live English class. I am here to answer any questions that you have about English, about pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, whatever. I I have my coffee, so the day is perfect because I'm on YouTube. I have coffee. It's perfect. It's what more could you want? um, hmm. So I think that maybe my classes recently are not very interactive. So I thought today I would start with a little interactive game that we can play together. Okay? So this is a game that I play with my students here at here at the school. Um, Sorry, it's just somebody in the comments is saying that there's a streaming error. Is anybody else seeing an error? I think it looks okay to me, but okay. I think it's just you. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to start playing a little game. Okay. And this game is called the 5-second rule. Basically, you have to say three things in a category. For example, um, 3 ways to become a millionaire. So can you think of 3 ways to become a millionaire? So tell me 3 ways to become a millionaire. I'm waiting for your beautiful ideas about how to become a millionaire. Mm. My coffee is finished. Wow. As we say in English, all good things must come to an end. This is a good expression for you to learn. Okay. All good things must come to an end. Um, okay, so yes, Elena says the best way to become a millionaire is to win the lottery. Yes. Um, no, not the best way, just a way. True, you could win the lottery. Um, Fleur Rouge Cerise 14. I think probably you are French, oui. She said investments. Yeah, so investing money, maybe in a business, in the stock market. Or yes, she says stock exchange, which is good but risky, very risky. And also a robbery. I think this is a good idea. Secretly, I have always wanted to rob a bank, but this is very risky. Um, Adriano says you could find a treasure. Yes, that's very true. You could find a treasure, like a pirate. Um, or Elena said that you could inherit some money. That's very true. Maybe if you have a rich uncle or maybe a rich relative in the family. Um, and also you could set up, Yan Huang says you could set up a successful enterprise. It's true. Um, Personally, I believe that the best way to be happy in life is to work hard. Well, no, to have a balance between working hard and spending time with your family. It's very important. Um, Become a famous footballer. Yes, that's very true. But that's difficult because you need physical abilities. And Victoria says, don't be lazy. This is very true. This is very important. If it's okay, I would like to tell you a little story. Okay? So, once there was an American businessman on holiday in Mexico. And he was on the beach, and there was a Mexican man on the beach, playing his guitar and looking at the water. And the American businessman said, "Hello, what do you do?" And the man said, "I'm a fisherman." And the American businessman said, "But you're not fishing now. Now you are on the beach playing your guitar." And the Mexican said, "Yes, because I only fish to make a little bit of money and some extra fish for my family and for my friends. And then the rest of the day, I play with my kids and I play guitar on the beach and I watch the sunset." And the American businessman said, "Well, if you fish more, then you can make more money. Maybe you should fish more hours in the day and then you will have more money. And then, once you have some savings, you can buy another boat, another fishing boat. And you can have some employees who can go and fish for you. And then maybe after a few years, you can open a business to put the fish in cans. And you can have a cannery business. And you can sell the fish to supermarkets. And then you can have a very, very big business. And then you can go on the stock exchange. And you can sell shares in your companies. And then you will have millions of dollars." And the Mexican fisherman said, "Okay, and then when I have millions of dollars, what do I do?" And the American businessman said, "Well, then you can play with your kids and fish a little bit and sit on the beach and play guitar." So the story, the moral of the story is that sometimes it's good to work hard, but also you have to find balance in your life. I hope that was an interesting little story for you. Then she said that a good way to become a millionaire is to become a politician, to stay a politician, and to have friends that are politicians. In Spain, this is definitely a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to have a look now and answer some of your questions about English. Okay, so Adriano was asking about, what does it mean when you say supposed to? Okay. So this is the word, the phrase supposed to. And for example, you could say, tomorrow I am supposed to go shopping in the supermarket. Okay? And what it means is, it means that if there's no problems, if everything is good, this is your plan. Okay, your plan is to do this, and you will do this. Okay, supposed to is like a definite plan for the future. Okay, For example, yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am supposed to go shopping. Okay? So this is a plan that you have for tomorrow. And if there's no problems, if there's no changes, tomorrow you will go shopping. But you can also use this for something in the present or for something in the past. So imagine you are in a cafe waiting for your friend Maria. Maria. Maria is Spanish, so she's always late. But she is supposed to be here. Okay? The plan is that she should be here. She must be here. She is supposed to be here. Or in the past, you could say, Maria was supposed to be here at 10 o'clock. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. There's somebody here in the comments saying that they don't like coffee, they only like tea. I feel very sad for you because coffee is a sweet nectar from the gods. Okay, let's have a look for some more questions. Okay. So Rosangela has a question about some vocabulary. So the first one she has a doubt about is the word indeed. Oops. So, what does it mean, indeed? Okay, indeed, we use, okay, to give emphasis. In reality, on its own, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, it is used for emphasis. For example, okay. Here's an example here. It is cold indeed. And it's the same as saying, okay, you could say it is very cold. It's the same, it is very cold is the same as it is cold indeed. And you can use indeed also in the adjective position, okay? You could say, for example, he is indeed rich. Okay, he's very rich. Okay. Now the origin of this word, I suspect that deed means true. So I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to look in the online etymology dictionary. Okay, indeed etymology. This is normally what I do every day for hours. I look at words, where they come from. Okay, so let's have a look. Yes, I was right. So, online etymology dictionary, okay, it says, indeed, which means in truth. Okay, in truth. So, it is cold in truth. It's the same. Okay, you could say in truth. Indeed, in reality, in truth. So I want to talk a little bit about the word true, because now, especially in a lot of Western European countries, okay, there is a question about what is true and what is lies, especially in the news, what is true in the news and what is invented. But the word true is, for me, a very, very important word, because something which is true is not based on opinion, okay? It's not something that I think it's true, so it's not, or it is true, or you think it's not true, so it's not true. True is a fact, okay? It's something that is beyond opinions. And what's really interesting is the origin of this word, okay? This word comes from Proto-Indo-European, from the very, very basis of all of the European languages, okay? This word was triao, okay? Oops. So in Proto-Indo-European, it was triao. And what's incredible is that this word triao, okay, meant true, but also it was the word for tree. So in the past, thousands of years ago, before English existed, there was no difference between a tree and the truth. Because a tree is something that is real, a physical object, and it's something beautiful. It creates air for the planet. It gives you fruit. If you cut a tree down, it can give you wood for your fire. It is one of the most important things on the planet. And for me, a tree and the truth are the same thing, okay? A tree exists, and the truth exists. And I think sometimes it's very important that we forget opinions and we look for the actual truth in life. Okay, I'm sorry, maybe I'm talking too much nonsense. Okay, so ICAM wants to know the difference between a form and a shape. Okay. So in some European languages, a form and a shape, it's the same, okay? But in English, they're a little bit different, okay? So a shape is a specific, defined, shape, like a triangle, okay? Or a square. These are shapes, triangles and squares and rectangles. But forms can be something more organic, okay? More organic. But also we use form when we talk about metaphors, okay? Comparisons. Like, for example, a form, you could say it has a jellyfish form. A jellyfish form. Do you know what a jellyfish is? In the water. In the water, the gelatinous creatures with with tentacles, sometimes with tentacles like this in the water, jellyfish. Okay, it's something which is like more organic. Okay, and also you can use these for metaphors or to talk about not a specific shape, like if you want to say that difficult to think of an example, I'm sorry. Like you could say that this telephone, okay, has a solid form, okay, and a very thin form. Okay, so we're not talking about a shape, like it's not a rectangle. I'm talking about the characteristics, okay, of it, how it is a metaphor. Okay, I don't think that that's a fantastic explanation of shape and form, but you know, this is a live class, and I'm not perfect. So, okay. Okay. So Carmelo has a question about irregular verbs, which is when do you have to use the past and when do you use the participle? Okay. So let's talk about that. So here we have an irregular verb. Okay, go is the infinitive. Went is the past. Okay, and gone is the participle. So went, we use this with the past simple, right? He went to the bank. Okay, past simple. This is the past tense. And the participle, we use this with the perfect tenses. Okay? Like, for example, I have gone to the bank today. Or he has gone to Italy. The perfect tenses. Future perfect, we will have gone. Past perfect, he had gone. And also, you can use the participle with the passive. Okay? And remember that the passive is to be and the participle. So, what could we say? Gone is difficult to use in the passive. Let's it's because it's very difficult to use gone in the passive because it sounds strange. But if we use another verb like think, okay, so think, thought and thought. So another irregular verb, think, thought, thought. So you can see that the past and the participle are the same, okay? Yeah, so you could say, it is thought that English is very difficult, but really English is very easy if you have a good teacher. Okay? Hopefully that helps to explain when you use past and participles. Okay? So Odeilzo wants to know what is the difference between the first conditional and the second conditional. Okay, let me show you. Okay, So the first conditional talks about things that are probable. Okay? Things that can possibly happen. Okay? But the second conditional we use to talk about things that are imaginary. Things when we use our imagination. Things that are not real. Okay? So, for example, imagine that it is raining. Okay, it's raining. Okay, but you want to have a barbecue outside. Okay, so you could say, using the first conditional, because it's probable that the rain will stop. You could say, if it stops raining. If it stops raining, we will eat outside. Okay, so you can see that the first conditional is, okay, present simple, and you can use the future, okay, here. Now, don't forget that in all conditionals, first, second, third, zero, you can substitute the second part of the conditional for a modal verb, any modal verb. So instead of future, you could say can, or could, etc. Okay, you can substitute the second part of the conditional for a modal verb. Okay, but now let's think of something imaginary, like we were talking about ways to become a millionaire. Okay, ways to become a millionaire. You could say, if I won the lottery. If I won the lottery, and you can see we're using the past, okay, I would go on holiday. And you can see in the second part of the second conditional, we're using the would, okay? Now again, here, you can substitute this for a modal verb. So you could say, if I won the lottery, I could go on holiday. Okay? These are, well, some people call them mixed conditionals, because they say that you are mixing, first and second, because you're putting could. But personally, I don't think this is a good way to think about it, because you're not mixing anything. Because this situation, if you put could or can, it doesn't mean that it's probable. Okay, it doesn't change that it's imaginary. It's still imaginary. It's still the second conditional. But you have an option to use a modal verb. Okay? If I won the lottery, I could go on holiday. Okay. Lyubov Smelovskaya. Was that good pronunciation? Lyubov Smelovskaya. Okay, wait. I got this. I've got this. Lyubov Smelovskaya. She wants to, well, I don't know. I don't know if it's a male or female name, Lyubov. I'm sorry. What's the difference between we'll agree with your suggestion and we'll go along with your suggestion? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have two possibilities. We could say we will agree, okay, using the verb agree. Or here we have a phrasal verb, go along. We will go along. So what's the difference? Well, agree means that yes, I have the same idea as you. I think that your idea is correct. I agree with you. For example, what is the capital of England? London. I agree with you. I think you are correct. Okay? We think the same thing, agree. But go along is different because it doesn't mean that I agree with you. It doesn't mean that I think your idea is correct. But it means that I will follow you, okay? For example, if I ask you, what is the capital of Nepal? No. Or what is the capital of, I'm trying to think, okay, what is the capital of Bhutan? A difficult question. I don't know the capital of Bhutan, okay? But maybe you say, the capital of Bhutan is Shnugalugaluga. And I say, well, I don't know, but I will go along with you. I will follow you. I don't know if you're correct, but I will follow you, okay? And if you think about it, go along, okay? Go along means to follow, right? Because, look, if we have a river, if this is a river, we can walk along the river. We can go along the river. So here I'm following you. I'm following your idea. Okay? Hopefully that explains. Okay. Yan Huang wants to know about some pronunciation, okay? About the difference in some vowels, okay? And she has some examples here, okay? So here are two examples, okay? Bought and bought. So, and I want to say that, you know, if you are learning English, probably that your pronunciation between vowels that are very similar like this, okay? Probably there will be maybe no difference between the vowels. But probably I will understand exactly what you are saying because of context. Context is really, really important in languages. And so if your pronunciation is not perfect, it's not a problem, okay? Because with the context, you know, I know what you mean, okay? It's not very common that two words which sound similar, you know, have the same or can be put in the same part of a sentence. You know, normally you don't have two verbs that sound the same or two adjectives that sound the same. Like, it's not common, okay? So, but specifically this, okay? The first thing is we have a difference in length. So this one is shorter, okay? And let's look at the mouth position. Oh, okay? Oh. So my mouth is open, my tongue is relaxed, okay? Oh. So it's bot. Oh. Okay? A bit like if I say to you, you've won the lottery, and you're like, oh. Okay, it's like the face of shock. Oh, but okay. But this one here, okay, the first thing is it's longer and it's different. Look. Oh. Oh. Do you see? Look at the difference in my lips. Okay, my lips are forward. Look. Oh. Oh. Do you see that? Oh, they're smaller and they're more forward. This one is oh. 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 Okay? And you can hear here as well, we have a longer sound and we have a little change. Bought. Bought. Okay, so this is a diphthong. We have a little change in the vowel. So now you can try, okay? Bought, bought. Okay? Hopefully that helps to explain the difference. But in general, especially at the beginning when you are first learning English, don't worry so much, okay? Don't worry. Okay. So yes, Jandri was asking the difference between every and each. Okay. So the truth is that normally the difference between every and each is not important, for example. Okay? So imagine, let me go on this side. Imagine that we are talking about buses. Okay, we're talking about buses. And we're talking about buses with air conditioning. You know what air conditioning is, right? Now, I could say, every bus has air conditioning. Perfect. And I could also say, each bus has air conditioning. Okay? So, and really, the meaning is the same. Okay? We are imagining the buses, and every bus has air conditioning, each bus has air conditioning. But the difference is that you cannot use this one with time, okay? So you could say, for example, I have a coffee. For example, I have a coffee each 10 minutes. No, okay? You have to say, I have a coffee every 10 minutes. So it seems that one restriction is that you cannot use each with time. But normally, in general, there's not a big difference between each and every, okay? So hopefully that helps, okay? Okay, so Fleur Rouge Cerise wants to know, what is the difference between a determiner and a pronoun? Good question. Do you guys know what a determiner and a pronoun is? So, determiner is when I indicate, I determine what object or what person I'm talking about. Okay? For example, a determiner is like this. This, chalk, this. I am indicating, I am determining which. Is it this one or this one or this one? Okay? But a pronoun is different because what is a noun? Okay? Noun means name. So a pronoun is a substitute for the name of something. Okay? Pro as in, a substitute. Okay? So this is a determiner. This is a determiner, and the name of this is chalk. Okay. Chalk. This is the noun. Okay. But I could use a pronoun, a substitute for this. I could say, this one. This one. This one. Because one is a substitute name for the chalk. Okay? So the difference is that a determiner indicates which, and the pronoun is to substitute the name for a different name. Okay? Okay. Okay. Flo Rouge Cerise says, coffee is a hug in a mug. I love that. I love that. Coffee is a hug in a mug. A hug. Have you noticed that when English people write an email, at the end of the email, sometimes they put an X and an O? Yes? So, for example, you could say, bye. For example, this. At the end of my email, I put bye, and then my name, and then XOXO. But what is the X and the O? Okay, so the X represents a kiss. Okay, I don't know why the X is a kiss. Maybe because the sound X and kiss sounds similar. I don't know. I need to look on the internet. And the O represents a hug. Okay? I think because a hug, see, it's like a circle, like an O, maybe. Okay? So at the end of your emails or your text messages, if you're speaking with an English person, you could put the X, the XOXO. Okay? Okay. Ali Salim wants to know the difference between compliment and compliment. Rah, great question. And also, I have a very bad English joke to tell you. So this is perfect. Okay. Okay, so compliment means to say something nice to somebody. Okay? To tell somebody something nice. Okay? Like, for example, wow, your hair looks fantastic. Well, nobody says this to me, but you could say to a girl, wow, your hair looks beautiful. Or, wow, you have lost so much weight. Or, I love your shoes. Okay, this is a compliment with the I. A compliment is basically something which goes with another thing. An accessory for another thing. A partner for another thing. Like, for example, I could say that the chalk. Okay. Oops. Chalk complements this. This is to rub the board. Okay. So these two items are complementary because they go together. They are partners. Okay. Or I could say that this t-shirt and this jacket complement each other. Okay, they go together. They make a good partnership. Like, for example, food, pizza and red wine. Pizza and red wine are a perfect complement. And now I'm going to tell you my really bad English joke. Okay, so a man goes into a bar and he sits at the bar and he's drinking his beer and he's looking around, and there is nobody in the bar. He is the only person in the bar. So he's drinking his beer, and then he hears a voice, and the voice says, "Wow, I love your jacket, it's beautiful." And he says, "What?" And he thinks, okay, strange. So he drinks his beer, and then the voice again says, "Oh, and I love your shoes. Those shoes are fantastic." He says, "What?" And he's drinking his beer, thinking, okay, this is very strange. And then the voice says, "Oh, and I, I love your bag. Your bag is really fantastic." And he says he thinks he's going crazy. So he calls the bartender, and he says to the bartender, "Bartender, do you hear the voices? There are voices telling me that I look good and they like my bag. And what is this?" And he says, "Ah, it's the peanuts. They are complimentary." Because compliment means to say something nice, okay? And complimentary, okay? Complimentary in English means something which is free, okay? So basically the peanuts on the bar are free peanuts. You don't have to pay for them. They are complimentary. But do you get the joke? It's a bad joke, I'm sorry. I only have bad jokes. Okay. So Salah al-Din was saying that she heard somebody, I don't know where, if it was on television or what, she heard somebody say, "It don't matter." Okay. It don't matter. Now we know because we are very good learners of English, we are very good students, we know that it don't is not correct. It's it doesn't, right? Whoops. Okay? Because it's third person, it doesn't. Okay. Now, this is something which is very unfair in English, which is that native speakers break the rules of English. Why? They break the rules of English because in their social group, okay, with their friends or maybe their family or where they live, the people speak like this, okay? They use the wrong conjugation, but they do this deliberately. They do this on purpose because it identifies where they come from, their level of social, mobility, their class. It indicates everything about them. Okay, and conjugating your verbs like this in a lot of places is very normal. Okay, in the South of America, in Mississippi and Tennessee, in Texas, you will hear people talk like this. Okay, and in London, you can hear people say this. It don't matter, conjugating the verbs incorrectly, and this is something which is part of really informal colloquial English. Okay, so is it correct? No. But do millions of people say this? Yes. So, now, unfortunately, and this is the part that's not fair, okay? Unfortunately, because you are not a native speaker, because you are learning English, English is your second language, then you can't do this. You are not allowed to break the rules. Only natives can break the rules. The problem is, if you say this, people think, they don't know how to conjugate their verbs. So it's unfair, but it's true. Okay, so my advice is you can understand this, you can listen to this, but don't use it yourself, okay? Because you should always try to speak correctly, I think. Okay. Now, one more thing. This is a live class, so I can answer your questions. But what I can't do is I can't hear from you. I can't hear what you're saying. I can only read your comments, okay? So I have a new idea, okay? I have a new idea. I want you to do some homework for me, okay? And you can send me your homework and I will correct it and I will send it back to you, okay? And I think that's a really good way for you to have some feedback from me, because I would love to hear some of your stories. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some homework. Okay, so here I have some story cards. So these cards are to give you some inspiration to write a story. Okay, I want you to write me a story. So I'm going to choose 2 cards randomly, okay? And, okay, here we go, 2 cards. So this is the first card, okay? It's a cat painting a fish, okay? And this is the second card, okay? It is a tree with some flowers, okay? So I want you to write me a story, and I want you to use these cards for inspiration. Okay, so you don't have to have exactly these things. Okay, these are for inspiration. So write me a story, and down in the description box you will find a link to the official Canguro English Facebook page. Okay. Send me your stories there and I will read them and I will mark them and I will send them back to you. Okay? And it's not important to me if your English is bad, okay, or if your English is excellent. I want to hear all of your stories. Okay? And yeah, that's the plan. Homework time, okay? So get inspired and send me your story. I don't care how many words. You can write 10 words or 1,000 words, okay? Okay. We have 5 more minutes for me to correct some more for me to answer some more questions. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay. Kevin was asking about, well, he wants some help with vowels, okay? He wants to know why some vowels sound different to the letter, okay? Why? Well, in English we have this sound, okay? It's called schwa. Do you know this vowel, schwa? Okay. Schwa is okay, it's called, I call it the little zombie. Okay? The little zombie. Because I have talked in previous classes about the zombie sound. Okay? Remember, you have to totally relax your face and you go, like a zombie. And the schwa, okay, it's the little zombie because it's short. Okay, it's totally relaxed, very short. And all unstressed vowels in English are schwa. So if you have a vowel in any word and there's no stress on this vowel, then the sound is schwa. Schwa, the little zombie, is the most common sound in English, okay? So, for example, here we have schwa, and here we have schwa, and here we have schwa, okay? And another word, like, for example, another word like banana has two schwas, okay? So here, where is the emphasis? The emphasis is here, okay? So this is culture. But look, at the end, we have the little zombie, culture, totally relaxed, culture. Here, where is the emphasis? Here, okay? So the first one is schwa, and the last one is schwa. Australia, Australia. Okay? So you can hear this A is different. Australia, schwa. And here we have two schwas. Banana. Okay, so these, because the stress is here, look. Banana. Okay? So you can see here, if the vowel is not stressed, then schwa. So you need to practice being a zombie. Okay? Okay. Okay, so I'm really sorry that I didn't have time to answer all of your questions today. There are lots of questions, but if you look in the description box below, you will find the link to the official Canguro English Facebook page, and you can post your questions there, and I will answer your questions, okay? So I'm sorry, but there is no more time. It's 2 o'clock, and I have to go. I have a lot of work to do. I have YouTube videos to make. I have classes to prepare. I have lots of red wine to drink. But thank you all very, very much for watching. You, all of you, are the reason that I get up every day and come to class, okay? Because I love teaching. And I am looking forward very, very much to reading your stories about the painting cat and the tree. Okay, so send me your stories. I can't wait to see what imagination you have. I'm Christian. This is Kangaroo English, and I'll see you in class. Bye. Bye.